friends, today we're going to talk about measuring ingredients for a recipe, specifically measuring out dry ingredients. Now there's some kitchen tools that we use when we want to measure out ingredients, and those are measuring scoops and measuring spoons. Now when I say dry ingredients, I'm talking about things like flour, sugar, salt. Those require a special tool. And to be exact in our measure, we use our measuring scoops. Now, if you take a look, all of the measuring scoops that we are going to be using have the amount written right on them. So this scoop right here gives you 1 cup measure. This scoop right here gives you a 1/4 cup measure. And you'll see that that is true for all of our scoops that we have here. That's also true for our measuring spoons. Our measuring spoons have the amount written right on them. This first one is a tablespoon. I know it's a tablespoon because it has the letter TBS on them. Tablespoon is different from a teaspoon, which is right here. The tablespoon, because you hear the B sound in it, has a B. And the teaspoon has the SP on it. So when you're measuring, always double check to make sure you've got the right one for the job. All right, so to get started, if my recipe calls for 1/4 cup measure, I need to find my 1/4 cup scoop. So I double check, 1/4 cup matches what I'm looking for, 1/4 cup. And then I can begin. So I'm going to take the lid off of my rice, which is what we're going to be using for our practice measuring. And I am going to make sure that I'm measuring over my tray for easy cleanup. And I'm going to take 1 scoop of my rice. Now, you can see, it's overflowing so much so that it's falling back onto my tray. So this is more than a 1/4 cup. And if my recipe says I need 1/4 cup, I need to make sure that I have exact amount. So after you scoop, you're going to take a look in your cup, and if you have too much, gently run your finger across the top to level it off, and then pour it directly into your container. And like I always tell my own children at home, make sure before you tip the cup that it's directly over the bowl that you're measuring into, so that you get exactly a 1/4 cup or whatever you're measuring into your bowl and not onto the counter or the floor. All right, so sometimes when we scoop, it ends up like this. Can you see that? Is that exactly 1/4 cup? No, it's less than. I need to make sure that I take a big scoop and that I level it off across the top to get exactly 1/4 cup. All right, what if I'm measuring something like salt and I need a small amount, like a tablespoon or a teaspoon? Well, if I need 1 teaspoon of salt, I need to make sure that I have the right tool for the job, and I'm going to use my spoons. Now, if this says TSP on it, which spoon do I need? That's right, I need the one that says TSP for 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to take my teaspoon measure. I'm going to scoop up some rice. I am going to level it off to make sure that it is nice and even and it's filled all the way to the top, and then very carefully pour it over my teaspoon measuring bowl. All right. Now, there's something else that I want to remind you of, is that if you have something that calls for 1.5 cups or 3 cups of an ingredient and you don't have that measuring cup, my biggest one is 1. If I need 3 cups of flour, how am I going to measure that? That's right, I'm going to use 3 of the 1 cup measures to get my 3 cups. So I would scoop 1, 2, and 3. Or if I have a container that or a recipe that calls for 1.5 cups, I am going to use my 1 cup measure and my 1/2 cup measure to get a total of 1.5 cups. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to take my 1 cup measure. Now, I kind of have trouble scooping this one. Okay, it doesn't quite fit into my container. So what I can do is I can take a smaller one And I can pour and fill my measuring cup here, my measuring scoop, with that amount of rice until it starts to overflow. And then I can make it level, going across the top here so any extra falls right into my container. I have 1 cup, so I'm going to pour my 1 cup into my bowl. And then I also need the half cup. So I'm going to find the one that says half, and I'm going to fill that all the way. I'm going to make it level. And then I'm going to add it to my already 1 cup of rice to get 1.5 cups. All right, so to recap, always double check the recipe or what's listed on your bowl to make sure that you have the same matching scoop or measuring spoon to go with the amount. Second, make sure that after you scoop that you've checked inside the cup. If you don't have enough, you need to add more and level it off so that you have exactly the right amount in your cup. Also, for the classroom, make sure we're measuring over our cookie tray so that if any spills, we can easily add it back to our container of rice. All right, good luck.